Hey guys, I'm Chris Oos.
And I'm Aos, and this is the Aos-to-Aos podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Aos-to-Aos podcast. Today we're talking about, just ways to avoid and stop procrastinating. This is something that I think everybody, from the biggest entrepreneurs, politicians, everybody who is successful in life struggles in some way with procrastination. Like, they have to get past it just like everybody else. We're all the same. They just find ways of getting past it. And there's, a bunch of awesome ways to get past procrastination, but you have to do that if you want to make it to the next level of your life, whether it be in business, anything you want to do.
Absolutely. This is one of those subjects that's either somebody's favorite subject or somebody's least favorite subject, depending on what your goals are in life and what you want to get away from. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to overcome too, because especially when you're, doing a side hustle, like a YouTube thing or, maybe a side job, it's hard to get that motivation to put the extra work in because, you've already put in that work during the week at your regular job, or, if you're a mother or a homemaker or a stay-at-home dad, you've already put in a full week's worth of work. So, overcoming procrastination is one of those really hard things to do. So today we're gonna kind of discuss some of the tips and strategies to try and get over that. These aren't going to be easy. These aren't just, quick fix where you're just going to do something and all of a sudden it's going to, you're going to stop procrastinating. These are going to take some work, but, these are things that are worth it. And these are actually things that Isaiah and I apply in our own lives as well. So, we're talking from personal perspective and from experience. So this isn't just something that we just read off the internet and we're shooting out to everyone. These are actual practices that we put into place. So anyway, the first one is starting small, starting with small tasks. One of the things that I do every morning is I make sure to make my bed, because when I make my bed, well, actually I didn't make it this morning, but anyway, on a regular basis, I make my bed in the morning as the first thing that I do, for a couple reasons. I like getting back into a made bed. So that's kind of, it helps me, myself. I feel good about that, but it's also a step that I take to start my day. I make my bed, I come out, I drink my coffee, I have my shower. It's all part of my, what I call my morning routine, the things that I do every morning without fail. So, starting with the small stuff will actually help you when you get to the big stuff. Like, so if you're starting with the small stuff by, making your bed and having your shower and all that kind of stuff within, say, the first hour that you're up, well, that opens you up for the rest of the day so that, when the big tasks come up, you don't have to worry about those little tasks. Same thing with, like, during your day, if you, do your dishes or, make sure your laundry's caught up, then, you're not fighting to get that stuff done when you want to be doing something else like creating a video. Okay, so, those are some of the things to keep in mind. Did you have anything to input here?
Yeah, it also just gives you just a motivation to keep going. Like, once the dishes are done, then you want to do something else because you're getting stuff done and you feel accomplished. And feeling accomplished is one of the things that we don't think that we want, but once we start doing, we really start liking. We want to do more of. So accomplishing little tasks is a great way to get motivated and to, want to keep the momentum going and to accomplish the things that we started out the day wanting to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And one other thing I guess is fair to mention here is not to let the little things rule your life. Don't get carried away with managing the little things and then forgetting about the big things, because I think that, it can work in the same way. A lot of times in life that we just try and focus on the big things. We have to get this big thing done, where, if we do the little things first, it helps us to focus on that, but sometimes we can get focused on the little things too and forget about the big picture. So this is one of those things that goes both ways, and you just need to make sure that you don't get trapped in that little thing mentality.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you're at work and you just find a couple little things to do just to stretch the day out, but at home there's so many little things to do. You can seriously do little things all day, so you have to manage your time effectively. And that's actually our next point, is managing your time effectively. This is one of the best ways to end procrastination, because if you're on a schedule, usually you'll be able to stick to that better instead of just winging it through the day. Like, it's easy to just say, yeah, like later on today I'll make a video, I'll write, my book, whatever it is that you're doing. It's so easy to say you'll do it rather than to actually put time aside to do it. It holds you accountable a little bit to having a set schedule. Also, you can do something called time blocking, which is really interesting. Basically, what you do is you take the whole day. So when you wake up, you block out time for whatever you've been doing that day. So if you have a job, you would block out 8 hours if you're working 8 hours for the job. And then you would say an hour afterwards is for working out, and an hour afterwards is for writing my book, and an hour afterwards is for doing this. And you just, each specific block of available time in your day is blocked out for a specific task. And that includes like things like eating and working out, something that would be like a personal thing. Or, if you wanted to have kind of like a downtime, put a downtime block in your schedule, like at the end of your day before you go to bed, write down, watch TV or read a book, do whatever you want. That's kind of like your selfish time. But having a set schedule for each moment of the day can help you be even more productive than just saying that you're going to do something. That's a pretty good way to do that too. Also, having a set morning and evening schedule. So you wake up at a certain time, like 5 a.m., whatever that is. You have specific things that you do. You might meditate, you might just drink coffee, whatever it is for you. This is kind of your selfish time, but you also want to make sure to get going. And then doing things like work out, maybe if you like to work out in the morning, taking your shower, things like that. Having a set schedule of things you do every day is the best way to start the morning off right, so you can be productive during the day. And then also the same thing at night. If you have a good evening schedule, you can, first of all, wake up early, but also if you have a set morning schedule where you're basically just on autopilot, you can set yourself up for some good rest the night before, which is good for gaining momentum and stuff, because being well rested is important in that. So yeah.
Absolutely, that's all really good advice. I think that's probably one of the hardest steps to get into, because we sometimes are pretty selfish with our time. Like, we don't want to block off time to do the stuff that we know we should be doing. So trying to get over that mentality is a pretty tough task. So
yeah.
Anyway, I mean, that actually kind of leads us into our next subject, and that's getting rid of time wasters. We do a lot of things that we kind of self-justify as we need to have some downtime, and we need to take care of our mental health and all those kind of things. And what I would challenge everyone out there today to do is to actually look at that and figure out if that's actually what they consider it as mental health and downtime, or if that's time that you're just justifying as that kind of time. So, whether or not that's sitting down and watching TV or watching YouTube or being on TikTok or other social platforms, Facebook's a big one. Is this time that you can actually justify as being time well spent? So, if it is, great. If it's not, maybe you need to look at what you can do to reduce that time and actually make your time more productive. I think that time blocking your time is actually an excellent idea, because then you have a set time. A lot of self-help books and a lot of success books talk about reward time. So maybe you can structure your time block so that you do 30 minutes of YouTube, maybe that's video editing or whatever it might be, and then have a half-hour reward time afterwards. And by setting your time up like that, you are more likely to enjoy that time, because you don't have this schedule looming over your head, this pressure to get stuff done. I know personally, a lot of the times when I'm taking that time on TikTok, or when I'm taking that time on Facebook, or whatever it is that I'm doing, I know in the back of my mind that I should be getting to work doing, something with my side hustle. And, like, it makes my time less enjoyable. So by blocking that time off and having it as a reward for getting your work done, that'll help you to kind of enjoy your time more, and it'll actually be more beneficial for you in the end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and don't get it wrong. You can always have those time wasters, but make sure that they're not wasting time that would be well spent doing something else. Like, at the end of the day, if you're done everything that you want to do and you want to watch a movie, that's perfectly fine. I think we all do that. But if it's taking up your day where all you're doing is playing video games, all you're doing is doing this, that, or the other thing, definitely get rid of those things, because they're holding you back from what you really want to do. And one day, hopefully soon, if you work hard enough, you'll be able to do that all you want, and no one can say anything about it, because you've been there and you've done that, and you're able to play video games all day if you really want to, and that's fine. But did you touch on having somebody hold you accountable for that?
No, that's something we didn't touch on, but that's actually a great point to touch on now. Like, one of the things that Isaiah and I do is we keep each other accountable, and like, it's sometimes you don't feel like sitting down and recording, and sometimes you don't feel like getting what you need to be done. But if you find someone that can help keep you accountable, it'll benefit you in the long run. So it doesn't have to be someone that's pressuring you all the time, but just someone that's saying, hey, I've got this great idea for a video, or hey, this is what I was thinking. Just someone that's constantly keeping you thinking and keeping you on the right track. And also someone, you want to choose someone who has a like mindset. Someone like with Isaiah and I, we both have an entrepreneurial spirit, and we both know what we want out of life. We have very similar goals in life, so for us, it's pretty easy to keep each other motivated, because we know which buttons to press and which things to tell each other. So definitely a good thing to do.
For sure. And I mean, I think that this kind of goes back into managing your time and this, but you can hold yourself accountable too. Set yourself reminders throughout the day saying, get this done, and later on you can watch TV, or you want to be successful, get this done. Set those reminders daily for different times throughout the day, and then you motivate yourself, hold yourself accountable. It's really hard to not do those things if you're letting yourself down. Don't let yourself down. Put as many barriers in between yourself and laziness as you possibly can. Make it harder to be lazy than it is to be not lazy and be productive, which is probably a good mindset to have. So the next thing that we have is keep your goals in mind. Like I said, you can set reminders and stuff. Say, hey, you want to be the CEO of this billion-dollar company, do this, whatever, on your thing, on your reminders and stuff like that. Write down your goals and put it somewhere. You can put it on the ceiling when you wake up. You can see it and things like that, or you can put it on the wall, the door. One thing David Goggins did was he had the accountability mirror, which is really cool. He would put sticky notes on the mirror, and he would, I can't remember, it was a while ago I read the book, but he would like look in the mirror and say the things on the sticky notes and things like that, and hold himself accountable to himself and things like that, which is a really cool way to hold yourself accountable. But the biggest thing about this section, keep your goals in mind, is like I said, don't let yourself down. If you don't do the things that you want to do, you're not letting anybody else down but yourself in the long run. You know what I mean? You're not letting down, your grandma. You're not letting down your spouse. You're letting down yourself. I mean, you might be letting down your spouse as well, and you might be letting down your grandma, but at the end of the day, you're letting down yourself because you said you were going to do something and then you wimped out. So that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. One of the great ways to keep yourself motivated and accountable too is watching some good YouTubers. Like I watch quite a few good YouTubers, video influencers. I'll just mention a few video influencers. That's Sean Cannell and his partner, I can't remember his name offhand. Him, Nick Nim, and there's quite a few out there that
Aos-to-Aos podcast is fantastic.
Aos-to-Aos podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
The great thing about watching some of these YouTubers is they're going to tell you everything straight. They're going to tell you that, if you're not being consistent, you're not going to get viewers. If you're not, putting out a good product, you're not going to get viewers. They're going to help you keep your goals in line, and they're going to help keep you motivated. Even though they're telling you what's not going to happen, they're also telling you that if you do these things, they are going to happen. So if you have goals to, have 1,000 viewers by, June, if you're watching these videos and you're setting goals for yourself, you're going to achieve that. It's just a byproduct of doing the work. If you're putting out a good product, people are going to want to watch you, and people are going to subscribe to your channel. That'll wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Yeah, go ahead and leave a like down below. Go ahead and leave a comment. Dad almost messed up there, but that's all right. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have anything you want us to talk about, and then go ahead and subscribe if you're liking the podcast. And also, I already said leave a comment, but let us know if you like the new format. We've been doing it for a couple episodes now, but let us know if you like the new format.
Yeah, and hit that bell notification icon so that when we upload new videos, you guys will be informed. And hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Have a good day.